Hi warriors, I am happy to share this post this week because this week I was inspired. It's my 45th and a half birthday and I reflected on my life a little and thought of 4.5 life lessons that I wanted to share with you. So here goes. Lesson number 1. Take care of me. This was perhaps the hardest lesson for me to learn and one I need to continually remind myself of. Taking care of me does not mean taking care of me after I've taken care of everyone else and all of their needs. This means that I must honor myself and my needs so that I can take care of others. I must prioritize my care so as to best care for those I love. I went through years of playing Superwoman Susie, which was making sure everyone else was getting their needs met before I even thought about what I might need. This didn't just include the needs of my kids and then spouse. This included virtual strangers. If the head of the PTA for my kids' school called and needed something, I was on it. Superwoman Susie to the rescue. I fell into bed at night an overworked, neglected shell of a woman. Luckily, my body gave me a bit of a wake-up call and I was forced to evaluate how my running myself ragged was not serving me or anyone else around me. I shifted my focus to what does my body need? What does my soul crave? What do I like to do? I started to get the sleep I needed. I started to eat the food that gave me energy, and I started to move my body how it needed to be moved. I also took a deep look at relationships in my life. I got really clear on how I was showing up within those relationships and how those different relationships were serving me. Was time with the different people in my life filling me up, or was it depleting me? If I was depleted, what role did I play in all of that? What about relationships I could not change? I'm given one life, and no longer did I allow myself to pass my days in a fog-like state of busyness or woe is me. Taking care of me means pausing and checking in with my actions. Are the things I'm doing lining up with how I want to feel, how I want to live my life? If not, change something, Susie. I'm in charge of my life and I am important. What do I want my life to be like? What do I want my life to feel like? I can only address those aspects when I'm taking care of myself. Lesson 2. I am a warrior. I actually got a tattoo, I don't know if you can see it, to remind myself that I am a warrior. I was made to do hard things and I can handle the life I was given. There is no knight in shining armor coming in to swoop me up and ride off to the sunset. I don't need one. There is no one out there who will make me happy. If I'm going to live a happy life, it is up to me. I cannot control the events in my life, but I do control my reaction to them. I control my reaction to other people. I am in charge of my life. I am in charge of my emotions. I am in charge of my actions. My kids don't do things that, quote unquote, make me yell. My ex-husband doesn't, quote unquote, make me angry. No one is coming along to pay my bills. As a warrior, I know I can do it. I might not always want to do it, but the empowering fact remains that I don't need a man, a husband, or a father to make my life one outstanding, mind-blowing success. That's on me. What I do every day determines the life I will live. I get to make me happy. Lesson 3. Life is hard, and that's a good thing. I grew up in a house where positive, happy emotions were encouraged. We were not taught how to process our more difficult emotions other than to learn that we could go to our room to figure it out alone. It did not take long for me to learn to use "I'm fine" as a shield of armor. When I said "I'm fine" in public or at home, I fit in socially. I wasn't told I was too emotional, and everyone could carry on with their days. However, all those years of suppressed emotion led to some not so pretty days. Depression is defined as the suppression of our feelings. FINE, F-I-N-E, stands for feelings inside needing expression. I've dug into learning how to process the hard emotions that life throws our way every single day. Half of my life will be spent experiencing those hard emotions: fear, anger, disappointment, sadness, etc. And when I process them in unhealthy ways, like over-exercising, overeating, over TV watching, overspending, I feel a temporary blip of good emotion, but overall the negative feeling persists and I just feel like I've let myself down. Instead, when I dig into the life lesson that life is hard, but I can do hard, I'm proud of myself. One of my favorite mantras to repeat to myself in tough times is, nothing has gone wrong here. Meaning, whatever life has thrown my way was exactly what I'm supposed to be handling right now. I remind myself how humans are designed to process the whole range of emotions, and through the difficult situations, we grow. Did I experience joy during my divorce? Hell no. Am I stronger, wiser, and more joyful since my divorce? Hell yes. Life is full of peaks and valleys. When I drop my resistance to the hard time to look for the lesson instead, life is easier. I choose to live consciously. It's harder, but it's always better in the long run. Life happens for me. Even the shitty stuff, it's happening for me. Lesson 4. I choose my companions. The single greatest indicator of happiness is our connection to other people. Do we have someone we can completely be ourselves with? Do we have someone who can hear of our struggle and listen to us? Not fix it, just listen. Who do we surround ourselves with? Do they inspire us to be kind? How do we feel after we spend time with our family members, with our friends? We choose all of this. There is no rule that says just because they were your best friend from high school doesn't mean they still have to be your best friend. The lesson for me lied in discovering that what was my biological family was not, in fact, the logical family for me. That I learned that there is no rule that said my biological parents and siblings must remain in my life. Today, I am happier and more at peace with the relationship with my parents and siblings than I had ever imagined. Why? Did they change? Did they do something? No. I haven't spoken with them for more than a year and a half. Yet, I have forgiven them and I know they love me. They were the exact family I needed to become the warrior woman that I am today, and I'm incredibly grateful. I will expand on this in next week's blog post, but please remember, you are in charge of who you surround yourself with, and you are incredibly influenced by them. If you want to be great, surround yourself with greatness. Lesson 4.5. Life happens for me. Einstein once said the most important decision we'll make is whether we believe life happens to us or for us. I spent a portion of my life believing life happened to me. I felt like I was a victim and complained about how so-and-so made me feel a certain way. Once I learned that everything in life happens for me, I was able to learn from what was happening in my life. Instead of slipping into a why me, I can look at what's going on in my life as from the role of what I call a compassionate observer. I make plenty of mistakes in my days, yet when I look at what I did with the intent to learn from it and the agreement with myself that I won't criticize myself for it, I'm able to grow. I spent way too many of my years beating myself up. Not only does that feel like crap, it doesn't allow room for me to learn anything from it. If I ate too much food the night before, it helps me to think, I wonder why I chose to finish the ice cream last night. Or, isn't that interesting that you chose to go back for seconds and thirds? Wonder what was going on there, Susie. When I observe my life compassionately, I learn from it and behavior change becomes easier. Lead a loving and learning lifestyle. I can also be a compassionate observer with others. If my son is having a tantrum or a fit about something, I can step back to observe what's happening and not take it personally. His tantrum or yelling is not because of me. He's allowed his reaction to his life experience, and I don't have to jump in and add my drama to it. I can also extend this to strangers. If I'm cut off in traffic, I don't have to make it about me. The man didn't cut in front of me because he wanted to be an asshole to me. He's in a hurry to get somewhere, and why should I raise my stress level to make it about me? Sure, he might actually be an asshole, but isn't that all the more reason to not let him dictate my emotions? In essence, it all comes down to kindness. Be kind. Be kind to me. Treat my body well with the food, sleep, and exercise it deserves. Treat my kids well. Take care of myself and my emotions so that I am not reactive towards their innocent selves. Be kind to others. I don't need to make assumptions that others' behaviors are about me. Move on. No need to add drama there. All right, there you have it. Those are the top 4.5 lessons learned from my 45.5 years here on Earth. I am very excited for the next 45.5 years to see what other great lessons are in store for me. I'll continue to learn and grow and push myself to become the next best version of myself until all my days here are over. Each and every day is a practice. Some days are better than others, but I commit to remember to take care of myself, to be kind, to surround myself with other great warriors, and to learn from the experiences that life is handing me. I thank you all for sharing this journey with me, and I really would love it if you could comment and tell me what some of your life lessons have been. I get my best learning from others, and the more we share, the more we grow together as a community. Go get 'em, warriors.